What's going on, everyone? Daniel here, and welcome to my spoiler review for The Strain Season 4, Episode 2, titled The Blood Tax. Here I'm going to be giving you guys a quick recap of the episode, and then going on to the pros, cons, and final score, telling you what I liked about the episode and what I didn't like about the episode. Also, feel free to tell me how you guys feel, how The Strain's going so far. This is the final season, and at the end of the video, the last 20 seconds of the video on the screen, I will have links to last week's the season 4 premiere, the final season premiere review, my review for it, and then also like the breakdown and analysis for the premiere, and I go more in depth. It's a little bit more longer of a video and talking about every single scene and how I truly felt about it, which I'm going to be doing the same with this. This is just a quick spoiler review, and then I'm going to go more in depth and just talk about all the feelings I felt and what I would have changed and what I would have done if the show was in my hands. Anyway, thank you guys again for joining me so much. Let's go. So we begin the episode with a new character named Raul, who is the cousin of Gus. Now, he works inside the factories for the partnership where they make the vitamin bars. He stocks them up, etc., etc. He ends up going back to his apartment, and Gus ends up surprising him there and saying, "Hey, as family, I'm obligated to take care of you, and I'm finally here to take care of you. But I need you to get me inside that factory." Gus has bigger motives. He has his own group, kind of other resistance that he's working for. Now, Gus ends up giving Satrakian his pills. This is jumping back 3 months earlier. Satrakian and Dutch are going, and I guess Satrakian's going to Gus for the pills, which they've met before in the series 2 or 3 times. Not that much. So this is the first time we're seeing really... Not the nightmare scene was different in last week's episode, so really we're seeing Satrakian, Dutch, and Gus for the first time this season. So anyway, Dutch ends up saving the Lumen because the building that they were hiding at was burning, and Strigoi were capturing a bunch of people from the building. So there's a whole rooftop chase and everything. Dutch ends up getting captured, so does Satrakian, and they go on this bus. And it's almost like a sort of a sense Satrakian has old... horrible feeling where it's like concentration camps in a way. You end up getting captured and put on these buses, and then you're separated from your family, separated from your friends, and you basically never see each other again, and it's really bad. Dutch ends up getting separated to an all-women's breeding facility, and then we don't know where Satrakian's led off to. We'll find out next week, hopefully. So that ends up happening there. Gus and Co. end up stealing the food. Raul helps them. Gus takes out a Strigoi on the rooftop, but Raul is cool with one of the guards, but one of the guards were inside the factory, and he ends up seeing them, and he's like, "I have to report this. This is my job. I need my job." And sadly, one of the guys of Gus's group, Gus is in the group and everything, he's doing his part, but the other guys really ruin it. The guy brings his gun out, shoots at the guard runs away, puts the alarm on, and basically Raul can't work there anymore. He needs to go with Gus, and that wasn't the original plan, but since they got caught, it didn't work out as smooth as they wanted to, plus they didn't get as many supplies as they thought they would have gotten. So anyway, Ephraim ends up helping the group out, which last week the bus exploded, he had something shrapnel in his leg. He's helping him out. A Strigoi end up attacking one of the people from the group and drained him dry. When a Strigoi drains somebody, they end up getting the memory and everything that they knew in their whole life. So basically the Strigoi know where they're hiding at. They know the bases where the resistance are hiding. So they basically, Strigoi go attack. Ephraim set up a bomb and basically explodes all the Strigoi up out of the little search party that they had there. Anyway, after that, he takes them to a new place and kind of gives them an idea, saying, "You know what, you need to stop blowing up buses and all that, all this rookie shit. This is not helping. What you should be doing is where the trucks are and they're refueling the trucks with blood, human blood, you should be poisoning that blood so you can kill as many Strigoi and they will not know what hit them." So that's how the episode ends there as well. Dutch ends up getting a guy in trouble because she wanted to escape the breeding facility that she's at, plus another girl was trying to escape. But Dutch is still very much in trouble, but she ended up getting the other guy in trouble, and who knows what's going to happen to him next. So anyway, now on to the pros and cons. Starting off the pros, probably my favorite thing about this episode was Satrakian. David Bradley is fantastic. He is a true thespian, and he has so much freaking range, man. He was so small. He was only like in 3 or 4 scenes, and that was it. And they never went back to him, which is a damn shame. Because Satrakian, every scene that he had, the few scenes that he had in this episode, he was awesome. I liked the dialogue that he was given, and I liked the exchange that him and Gus had when they showed him in the episode. And even Gus, and I, obviously last week I was like, why is Gus even part of the show anymore? Blah, blah, blah. And Gus, this episode, he wasn't that usual Gus. Obviously it looked like a little time had passed by. And honestly, Gus is more of a person that I would stand behind in this troubled apocalypse time. So I really like the way they're going with Gus now. I'm liking the whole resistance thing, and now he has a purpose. Now I see it, that he had a purpose the whole entire series. He's kind of working with this resistance group in his own way and trying to survive, and it all makes sense now with Gus's character. But again, David Bradley, Satrakian, even like the concentration camps of the Strain now, in a sort of sense where they're getting separated from each other, and the way Dutch screamed and said Satrakian, Satrakian, and Satrakian got thrown to the ground and tasered. I was getting a little teared up. I wanted to cry, honestly, because the emotions and seeing Satrakian getting pushed to the ground and dragged and helpless, and then Dutch is helpless, like seeing these beloved characters getting pushed around like that, you feel like not only has humanity lost, but these characters, they're not winning right now. They're literally they're at rock bottom. And it's hard to see. As well, I enjoyed the opening and ending to this episode, especially with Raul and the everyday motion and seeing how life is. Now, last week we got a taste of it with the quarantine zone or the checkpoints and people on lines. Now that it's like a Planet of the Apes thing, like the Strigoi are on top, the partnership's on top, aka the apes, and the humans are the slaves. Now, seeing Raul live day to day and working inside the factory and eating the vitamin bars, I like the way that it was directed, and I like the way that it was told. It didn't have to have no words whatsoever, and then revealing that it was Gus's cousin, and then that Gus wanted to get into the factory. I thought that was a genius way to start the episode. And the ending of the episode, questionable things about Ephraim's arc in the episode itself, but I did like how at the end, he is in his own sense, Ephraim, he's a leader. He may not be a super great leader, but he has ideas that work, and he could strategize at times. He's a good strategy guy, and honestly, the way that he ended up telling her, like, you're wasting your time with the bombs, blah blah blah, you should be poisoning the blood, and at the time, he's like, oh, shit. Yeah, exactly. He just said something that probably he should have done a long time ago, but telling her the idea and saying, well, why don't we? Let's just work together. It was a way better ending than last week's ending with them walking out of the barn because Fett found the guy who works at the missile base. What a coincidence. But this one was a better ending than last week's horrendous ending. So I'll take this ending any day than last week's ending. Now, if I had to pick my WTF moment for the episode, besides Dutch being in a breeding facility and all that jazz, which is very creepy, I would have to say something that really caught my eye and something that I smiled at because it looks so damn cool, was when the Strigoi, after Ephraim blew up the previous resistance area or the bar, wherever they were at, one of the Strigoi came out and he was totally like engulfed in flames. It looked really awesome. That just caught my eye there and made me smile. And I love the little comedy thing there where Ephraim's like, no, we can't leave yet. He walks and, you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen? Then you see the Strigoi come out. He shoots 2 Strigoi and then he's like, okay, now we can leave. Also, something pretty weird happened, man. My blood pressure didn't go up during this episode. My heart wasn't palpitating. It was a steady heartbeat during the entire episode. And there's only one reason why I was having fun during this episode and I wasn't pissed. It's because there was no Zach. There was no mention of Zach and we didn't see Zach. Thank you, the writers, for not putting Zach in this episode. A week without Zach it's like a week without kids. Now, looking at this episode, there were 3 arcs in there. There was Dutch's arc, Gus's arc, and Ephraim's arc. I enjoyed all of them. I thought all 3 of them were entertaining. Now, there are problems with parts of them, and I enjoyed Dutch's, and I like the whole breeding facility, and just seeing her out of her mind in a sense. She wants to get out. She's been planning on getting out, and she's been there for 3 months, so I don't know how she just hasn't gotten out already, how it's taken almost 3 months. So anyway, I like the whole thing there. But the thing was, it was more slower to the episodes, Gus's really wasn't that slow. Ephraim's wasn't really that slow because it was very brief. Ephraim was probably on the screen for less than 10 minutes. So with Dutch, I think she had the most screen time, yet she was the most slow. It was very... Honestly, the whole thing of her talking to that guy in his office, it was very, if you could just have cut all that down a little bit more and shown something else, in my personal opinion, I thought it would have been a little bit more better. Because what they could have shown if they would have cut down all that stuff of her talking to the guy with a cane and blah, blah, blah from season 3. Where the hell is Satrakian? They didn't hint at where Satrakian is. Like, where is he? You could have easily have shown that near the end of the episode or in the middle of the episode. And that's something that they don't show. Obviously, we have to wait till next week or something like that. But you could have... There definitely could have been some stuff that out of Dutch's storyline that they could have compressed. And they could have showed Satrakian. Again, I know most people don't have problems with this. I don't have much problem with it, but I do want to just kind of mention it. I'm no editing buff guy. I suck at editing, but there's a few other editing problems in here in one particular scene, just like last week's episode, how the editing just didn't feel right, how it felt like a little clip was missing. Not even a dialogue clip or anything, just like a clip of somebody looking or more movement or someone walking or something like that. In a sense, with the editing of when Dutch ended up getting the lumen and she's on the rooftop and she's running away from the Strigoi or whatever she was running on the rooftop. That scene there, just you look at the editing again and how from cut to cut, it was very, I don't know, it felt like a little scene was missing of her running up more stairs or something like that. I thought it would have been more better if they would have added that like some other little thing was missing there, seeing her other than her running, and then she's already on the roof. You know what I mean? Like boom, now she's on the roof. And it just felt like usually there'd be something else there of her running and opening the door to the roof or something like that. Something very little, nothing that ruins the episode or improves the episode super much, but something that I just caught there. That was like the one little editing thing out of the whole rooftop scene, and plus the rooftop stun itself, I thought was just very. I don't know. It was really cheesy of her jumping and then the Strigoi jumping, and honestly, she probably would have like really sprained her ankle or something if that was a real jump. I'm saying in real life, she would sprain something. I don't think she like stretched her muscles and everything before jumping and shit like that. So I'm pretty sure she would have broke a leg or something with that jump. It's a pretty big jump. Now, I don't have that many cons left to say. I only have one more thing. But again, really, Satrakian not being shown more in the episode and not showing where he's at, I thought that was a huge mistake there. Again, I have this all written down. Dutch's story was a little bit more slower. A few the editing, jumping roof to roof sort of thing, man, a little bit cheesy there. Really, the only thing, Ephraim didn't do that much really for me to pro and con, honestly. I thought it was okay, entertaining still, nothing that I was bored with. I was following up with everything. But with Gus, and when they were in the factory, and then the guard was like, I'm going to have to tell on you. Why didn't you just say, come join us? We have food, water, shelter. You know, Rick Grimes, turn into Rick Grimes there. Join us, you know. We're going to take the Strigoi down. I mean, come and join us, man. Whatever I forgot his name, but Eddie or something. Eddie, come and join us, man. Come on, like, let's go, you know? And, like, he's just like, I got to tell on you guys. And then he ran away. Again, don't be like, hey, Eddie, why don't you put the gun down? No, just be like, join us, man. Come on. Fuck the job, man. Come on. You know, like, someone say, like, again, I don't know why they just didn't say that. I mean, honestly, if I was in that situation, I would be like, hey, man, we have food, water, shelter, and everything, and you don't need this job. We could take in your family, and we'll make sure that they're safe. Just join us. That's all you need to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to give the Strain Season 4, Episode 2 a solid B. I thought it was better than the premiere last week, even though the premiere was entertaining, and we didn't get to see Fett this episode, which I wish we did, but we didn't get to see Strakian either, so, like, where he's at in modern day and stuff, so, or in the present day. So, I guess, you know, we can't fit everybody in one episode, sadly. But, again, I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a good episode. Didn't think it was great, but it was a really good episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, bye-bye.